What's going on, guys? Honey Hefe here. It's Saturday, May the 3rd. It's about 11 o'clock. The weather is 59 to 84 degrees. It's been raining a whole lot lately, so I'm kind of limited on where I can go. So it's the Balderas Apiary today. Let me kind of straighten this out a little bit. All right, let's see what I got here. So I got my smoker. Got the camera up a little bit. I got 3 boxes of supers. 2 boxes, or 1 box of one deep box actually that I can use over there on the left on top. With they've got frames in there. Then I got some other frames in a couple of boxes down there that I won't use, but I'll use the frames if I need to. Of course, I think I got frames out here. I got boxes out here as well. Here also brought, let me look, 1 migratory box, which you'll have to have a migratory box to use if you're going to have 2 hives on a double pallet side by side. You can't use a telescoping one side by side like that. It just takes too much space. But I did bring 2 or 3 telescoping tops and several inner covers. I got some feed out here. We're like right here at the very beginning of the nectar flow. It's going to be strong. I really shouldn't have to feed. But my goal today is to get as many supers on as I can in the small apiaries that I have. I'm not going to drag them over here. I'm not super optimistic that these will have prepared or ready for honey supers, but they should be. I mean, they really should be. As you can see, I got more chickens out here. Kind of peek at these and see how they're all right. We see activity in there. That's good. It's encouraging, at least. All right. So this hive here on the left, it looks like they took all the food that I gave them. I'll peek in there and see how they're doing. I can't remember offhand if I put an internal feeder in there. I don't think I did, but if I did, I'll take it out and just put a frame in there. I probably will feed this guy again. Just these next pro nukes here, it's hit and miss. I think there's at least one of them that's ready for a box. It seemed like it was close last time. There's another one that I'm questioning if they have a queen, or maybe this is one of the ones that has like a bunch of drone brood in there. This is just a box ready to go. So that's one of the lids that I have there, one of the migratory lids. You see what I'm saying? If you try to put a telescoping lid on one of those, it wouldn't fit in there with those way that's set up. They're too close together. So you pretty much have to use a migratory lid. However, if I'm just moving one Well, even here. If you just had one like that, like I could put a migratory lid on that one since there's nothing next to it, but you'd have to, a telescoping lid, but you'd have to be prepared to replace it if you're going to put another one next to it. All right, let's peek in here. I'm hoping none of these bees have swarmed out. I'm going to take this from my perspective right here. All right. Guess that's going to be a shadow right there. I'm doing that, but I'm working it from this side here. So you see this fire ant bed right here to the right. That's what I like to get one of these honey boxes or one of these one of these deeps that I don't use because they're too old, and I'll put it around that. And then when I have dead outs or whatever, I'll stack the other boxes with the frames on top of it, and let the ants and the bees come take them away. Take away the small hive beetles or the wax moths or whatever, and I'll just leave it over there. All right, let's see what we got here. So these, I'm hoping, have filled out. It's like a good amount. All right, I'm gonna smoke them a little bit. Because I'm gonna pull them up and look at these frames. So I got all the frames pushed over here to the side. This one doesn't look like it's been touched. I may just rotate. This is just a little bit of comb. Let me do this right here. I'm gonna slide it. Let's see how we look. Make sure there's no brood. It's like I just got stung. All right, so they're filling this up with some nectar. They're starting to fill up with some nectar here on the outside. That's facing the outside. So what I want to do is I'm going to slide this over here. Let me smoke them down a little bit. They look pretty good down in there if you can kind of see. Actually, let me pull it out because I think this is one of the frames that it looked to me like they were rebuilding some of the parts that were scraped off in the middle of the comb. And the comb was like different colors. Maybe not, yeah. So you see right here, it looks a little bit thicker than what it was last time I looked. And that's white wax down there. So I'm gonna kind of leave, let me just make sure there's no eggs or anything in here. It's just glistening with what looks to be nectar. All right. I'm gonna slide this sucker. They're pretty much the same. This has a little bit more comb. I'll just slide this on the inside. Now in the past, I mentioned I'd have just put a super on here. I still want to do that. And I'm sure I could get away with it, and I want to check this outside frame on this side. This feels pretty heavy here. All right. All right, so this isn't one that had mostly foundation. Obviously, it's older. Got a lot of nectar there. There's a lot of here on this side. All right, I'm gonna shove everything over to this side. All right. I'm not gonna feed these guys. They have quite a bit going on in there. But I want to wait until they at least get some foundation in there, or some comb on that frame of foundation. Let's go over here. We kind of do the same thing. All right, guys, let's see. It's pretty muddy right there. Let's see. Yeah. All right. These guys look pretty good. I mean, they look like there's a lot of bees in there. Let me open them up. All right, so I'm getting a little bit more comfortable now opening them up without completely smoking them down. But I don't want to take them out of the frames out of the box without smoking them. So I'm gonna kind of peek in there, see if you can see what I see. I feel like that's a good population, but let's see if they're ready for a super. I do not know. I'll smoke them a little bit. Yeah, see, this feels light, but maybe they've made progress on it or worked on it. It kind of looks the same as the last time, all that right there. So I kind of was hoping like all this would be like a different color coming back with new wax. I'm gonna leave it, let them work on it, but I'll keep looking in here. They don't look ready for a super. I mean, I guess. They're putting a lot of nectar in there. You can see that. Make sure there's no eggs in there. I'm gonna turn this one around. If it had eggs in there, I would not turn it around. I'm gonna turn it toward the center though. Since they're paying a lot of attention to that side, maybe now they'll come in and fill in that right there. I may even move this one over here. Hold on a second. Let me grab a lot of bees lined up over here. How's a chicken getting stung? Okay, there's some nectar going on there. I want to see them building. And so this is what I was talking about, like those empty spots that I showed over here, that's what I'm imagining this was like. And so see how this is darker and this is lighter. I guess if I went back to my previous videos on this hive, I could show or verify that this is what actually is happening. I think that's what's happening. I'm looking to make sure there's no eggs in here. See, it looks like they're building up right here and here, so that will look differently when the comb comes out. It'll look much different. I'm gonna turn that around as well. Have them pay more attention. There's not as much, like they could build that and give a queen a little bit more space to lay. Let's see. Kind of separate these a little bit. I'm going to press those against the outer wall. I'll look at this one before I close the box up, but I should leave one frame out. If that was just foundation, I would leave it out so I could manipulate these better, but it's not. So, not much on there. All right, let's see what we got. All right. You know, if there's no eggs on this or no queen, I may slide this on the outside. Looks like it's just, yeah, I'm gonna do that. Matter of fact, I'm gonna put these right here. I'm gonna slide this outer one over here and see what I got there. Yeah. All right, so. I need to double check this when I got out, make sure there's nothing in there. Oh, I think I just saw the queen. Maybe not. It's got a lot of... All right, let's look up here. I wouldn't expect to see the queen on this frame of honey here. Some brood, but let me just double check though. All right. I'm gonna leave this on the outside. I'm not gonna dig down in there anymore. Let me think though. Is this guy ready for a super? See the bees getting a little bit louder. Come down a little bit. Sprayed about my face a little bit. Inhale the smoke. I think I'm gonna slide this back over. So this frame was right here. Let's slide these babies over here. Go ahead and kind of start doing that now so it's not such a struggle. There's brood right here. Looks like drone brood. You can peek in there. Let's see here. We peek down in there. Not a good shot, but that sun is coming out right behind. I want to tilt this a little bit. I don't want to pull these guys out. Let me rethink this real quick about adding a super. What is it about those frames? They don't have a lot of comb. They need more comb. I think is what the deal is. Maybe I'll slide them both more. I'll take this one out. So all these empty places will be more in the middle. Wait a second. This one's already on the outside. Let's see. Let's see brood down here. Trying to determine if there's another way I can get these bees. No, there's brood there. I'm gonna leave these guys alone. Is there brood on the outside here though? Nah, not really. Well, hold on. Not really brood there, but there's brood right here. If you can see. take my. Let's see the queen. Nope. All right, I'm gonna put these back. All right. So I'm gonna slide these guys over. I got comb, and these are the ones I got spaces to make. They need to make some extra foundation. Let's see what this one looks like again. Yeah, they're working on that one. I'll just leave that one there. I'm gonna pull this one in. I'll put that on the outside. Put the barest spot toward the middle. That way the bees will hit that before they hit the other side. And I'll put this frame of honey on the outside. And I think leaving these guys alone for another 3 or 4 days or a week, whenever I can get out here. My Caucasians I thought would come in on the 2nd. I got an email saying they're gonna start shipping everything out on the 7th, which is fine because I can't get out to the Elm Grove Apiary and do what I need to do with it being so wet. I could right here, but I don't want to have a bunch of queens that that I can't do anything with, and I don't know how to bank queens very easily. I want to get them and get rid of them, or get them out of their cages in the same day. All right. Now we're going to look here. I'm going to look in the hive first. See how they are. Take this off. All right. Like I mentioned, these boxes, most of these boxes are wax dipped. They hold up good. Doesn't like the smell of mud. All right, I'm just gonna pop them open. See how they're doing. Let's see. All right. 1, 2, 3. So these were the 5 that were obviously in the nuke. Let's see here what you can see. So down in the front there. So this frame looks older. Tell by the color. So it's probably one that had a little bit of comb on there, if not a lot. So I'm gonna pull these off on the outside. It doesn't look like they've made it this far yet. All right. So now I do want to smoke these guys before. Yeah, it looks like they're starting to kind of work this outside part of the frame a little bit. That would be the inside on this frame. So these two frames are next to each other. So let's see how they're looking here. You see a queen walking around? I don't see a queen. I see some pretty bees though. They are pretty. All right, so this is the side that's closest to the 5 frames that were in the nuke. So this is the outside. And they were like this, okay? So it looks like they're working. I'm gonna slide these over a little bit. I wanna look at this frame, and I'm gonna look at this frame, see what they're doing, maybe this frame. This is the outer edge of, or this is the outer frame that was came from the split that I did. And again, when I say nuke, I'm not referring to a nuke that I bought. I'm referring to like the Pro Nuke, and sometimes I just use them interchangeably. But like I said before, they're not interchangeable. A nuke and a split. I think a nuke is 5 frames of established bees with a queen and brood. So just forgive me if I refer to a split. That's it's not established. You know. All right, so quite a bit of brood on here. I don't see a queen walking around. She might be here on the outside though. It's like a little bit of drone brood. See all that bubbly. I see a lot of larvae in there. I mean, it just looks like a bunch of drone. All right, guys. Don't see the queen on here. So I'm taking up too much time looking for queens, but just for video purposes. Honestly, I would just be, if I wasn't videoing this, believe it or not, I would be working a little bit faster. I would just be looking at these outside frames. I'd make sure there's brood in there. All right, so nothing going on. This is the frame of old comb that I put next to the outside frame of the split. So they're working that a little bit. They're expanding, it looks like, making it their own. They're kind of venturing over here. That drone's just wandering around looking. He didn't know what to do. He's looking for the queen. And it looks like there's quite a bit of brood over here, but I'm not going to mess with them. I'm going to just leave them. I'm just happy to see that there's brood in there. They got plenty of room. I'm going to slide these guys over. That's not the queen. No. Looked like she was trying to lay an egg in there. Alright. Trying to do this without crushing the bees. Alright. Remember how janky this looks. We'll hopefully see it looking beautiful here in a week or 2 or 3. And hopefully these will have comb. I probably will feed these guys. They're not in an established, I mean, they're established, I guess, but they're just like young kids. They need, when they move out, they need help. They're not ready to do everything on their own. All right. Let's look here. Not looking good. A little cluster right in there. Let me see what we got. Nothing on this side. I see larvae there though. Dadgummit. So there's larvae. This is probably what Tracy was calling me about. Tracy, I need to call you back. I'm sorry, bud. So not much going on here, but I'm seeing larvae. Hoping if I get these queens, I'll be more willing to transfer some brood over from it. I don't want to transfer brood from another colony over here. No queen there. All right, this is pretty pathetic. I don't. Tell you what. I think I've given these bees. Make sure I don't see the queen here. I'm going to move. I'm going to move these bees over here. Let's hope that's not a mistake. Let me make sure. I'm going to check one last time, make sure there's not a queen, and I'll check it as I'm moving them over. But small hive beetle. That's a concern for me, is moving a bunch of eggs, of small hive beetle eggs over here. So I'm gonna double check, make sure. I don't know why. I mean, there's like 7 bees in here, so I should be able to find the queen if there's a queen in there. And I don't see it, but there's larvae in there. There's uncapped larvae. So I do not want to move the queen, or move any of it. But I mean, it's obvious to me, but I don't understand why the larva is there if there's no queen. I mean, obviously it would have been capped. I saw these guys a few days ago. I had to go back and watch the video, but there is uncapped larva right here. There's evidence of a queen, but out of the 6 or 7, crap, even if there is a queen, I mean, what do you want to do with them? There's larvae in here. I'm gonna start moving them over, and I'm gonna see the most beautiful queen as I move in the last frame in there. Okay. Make sure she's not right here. All right. All right, guys. Y'all are not staying here. I'm gonna take out these frames of foundation first. I'm gonna slide, well, I'm gonna take all the frames of foundation out. So you're not supposed to mix two weak colonies. I don't think this is a weak colony. I think it's just a new colony. So that might be a bad move. I'll take these funky frames out. That the bees are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Which one of these is the least likely? That one actually looks pretty good. I keep hearing that tarp over there moving around. So I want to put the ones with the brood on there toward the middle. If I can remember, get that one. There's not a ton of brood in there, so I mean there's just our larvae, but then we'll check, make sure there's not a queen in here. All right, so I'm gonna put these guys. There's brood all right there, so I'm gonna put them right next to them. If I see the queen right here, I'm probably just gonna crush her. What? Yeah, it's not a queen. So if I had my Caucasian queens on me right now, I would just put them in, put one in here and bring some brood over from another hive. If I don't, if I was getting them tomorrow, I probably wouldn't be doing this. I probably wouldn't be transferring them over here, but I don't, it might be a week. And this nuke's obviously just dwindling in population. Even with the brood there and the queen there, the queen obviously is not strong. I don't want to put even a weak queen in there. I don't want, because then she'll fight this queen over here, and the survivor may not. Yeah, I don't know. This is frustrating. It shouldn't be frustrating. So that's larva there. I'm just going to put these guys right here. Okay, this is what, 7, 8. I don't see anything real obvious right there. Put that. It's good frame. Slide that over here. Watch the queen right here on the wall. I don't see her. I see some small hive beetles. I see a few bees. Let's see. Here's a lizard. So I don't even know if you can see what I'm doing over here. Let me. Crush a few of these small hive beetles. That's calm. I'll put that on the outside. The foundation on the outside. Put the comb in the. Well, I'm gonna scrape that part off right there on the end bar. The small hive beetles, man, they'll hide everywhere. I need to make a special day where I just focus on putting in small hive beetle traps and Swiffer sheets. All right, so this guy here. Just put some frames in here. Looks like they kind of messed with these frames a little bit. All right, so I just lost a nuke there. Oh, I should. That's dumb of me. I'm gonna take that frame out on the side there. I might as well give these guys the best frame that I have. Or the best available frame that I have. So I'll do that right here. Let's see if we have another one. So I lost a nuke there, or a split. I usually keep a record. Sometimes those records are hard to keep. I feel like one of these guys was doing pretty good though, like really well. Might have been this one. So it's like a lot of bees. Here they're on the side, they get quite a bit. On the outside here, it's mostly foundation, a little bit of comb. It's hard to gauge, right? A lot of nectar there. Don't see any eggs. Make sure that looks like a lot of brood right there. I may turn this around because it's a lot of nectar on this side. So I would say not a lot of places for a queen to lay, but on this side, it's just empty comb. Let me slide this down right here. I may do this same thing over here on this side, depending on what the situation is, right? It's like a pretty nice little brood pattern there. It's a pretty nice brood pattern there. There's a spot in the middle there. It doesn't look like it's getting backfilled with nectar. There's open brood. A lot of C-shaped larvae in there. I don't see the queen right offhand. She's probably on the frame that I have sitting right there on the ground. Alright, so I'm gonna put that down. There's a lot of brood right here on the right, a lot of open spaces though. But I don't want to pop them out. I'm gonna kind of leave them alone. I want to look at this one. If there's no brood or eggs, or if it's all just honey or nectar, and this is open spaces, I'm going to turn it around like I plan on doing with this one. Yeah. Let's look at the inside first. A lot of nectar. I can't tell if there's any eggs in there. It doesn't look like it. You see a lot of glare from the sun, a lot of little shiny spots. So I always think that's eggs at first, and I have to remind myself that's probably not eggs, it's just a glare. Alright, let's look over here on the side. There's quite a bit of places to lay in here. They do have some nectar in there in the middle, but there's places to build comb. And there's some empty cells that doesn't have anything in there. I may switch those around. Let me look over here and make sure that so I don't see a queen, I don't see any larvae or capped brood or uncapped brood. I'm gonna turn this around on the outside, so these empty spaces here, there's There's a lot of empty spaces, but there is a lot of nectar over here. But it looks like there's empty spaces over, more than this side, where a queen could lay some eggs. I'm just gonna, yeah, there's a lot of brood on that side as well. So on the this side of this frame. So maybe a queen will walk over there. I mean, I enjoy doing this. I get frustrated, I know, when it doesn't work, but I enjoy kind of figuring out, you know, what am I doing? Is it all right? Make sure the queen is not right there somewhere. I mean, she might be. There's a small hive beetle. I'm gonna take an opportunity to kill it. Kill it. And so if the queen does lay brood over here, lay eggs, it'll be not on the very outside of the frame, on the edge of the colony, inside the nuke box. It'll be easier to keep them covered and warm and fed and taken care of. Alright, so this is not ready. Honestly, this one that I did move over probably could have gone another day or week. This is the vended side. I feel like it was a lot further along than these other three. Having the seat makes it a lot better. I tried the crates, book crates, and just